This week, we get more Khadgar. Illidan shows up. Diablo Season 5 comes to a close as we speak. Some more Legion info. A little bit of Cataclysm, because who doesn't like a big dead dragon? And the big news is it's OverSalt weekend. Today is April 15th, 2016, and this is Epic Fail episode 56.
You are now listening to the Epic Fail podcast.
Hey, Draven.
I hate this microphone. But, I just came back, so I had to start the fails off right off the bat. Anyway, I am Draven Dresden. Epic Fail, number 56. I'm back from the dead for my computer issues, which we won't go into what ended up actually being wrong. But $300 later, it works again. Co-conductors, or hostages, or however they want to be called this week. Scarlet is not here. She's sleepies. So, we're going to go straight to Theory. How you doing this week? What have you been up to?
I'm pretty good. One thing you might want to look at while I'm talking, there's no chat in that chat box. It's just white.
Yeah.
As you alluded to, I spent a whole lot of time playing some Overwatch today, and I can actually call it Overwatch since I wasn't only watching. It's been a good week. Rating wise, we got Mythic Assault down to 1%. Literally 1% with the box on the floor and the cannon about to fire. We literally saw the cannon warming up to fire as the last person died. So yeah, that was pretty crazy, and we're getting very, very close for that. So that's pretty cool. Having more than enough people show up. Our biggest issue this week, which we'll talk about real quick, was server problems. Right on our regular raid night on Wednesday night, it was our first night of the week that we raid. Right at raid time, Blizzard got DDoSed, or the internet providers got DDoSed or whatever, which knocked all the servers off non-line for about a half an hour. And even after they were back up, a lot of people were having some pretty crazy lag. So that was kind of the exciting thing that happened this week. Eventually we got back in there. I just had everybody start late. Figured everybody could take a half-hour break, come back, and then we got in there and did our thing. But beyond that, the only thing I can think about right now is some Overwatch.
Yeah, you were in there a little bit earlier today. I got to catch you on part of my time off work today, which was not much.
Yeah, I think all in all, I played since it came up, because I didn't start immediately. It came up perfectly on time, which was nuts. I had it open trying to connect for an hour before, but I got in the middle of doing something that I had to finish. So I didn't play for the first 20 minutes, and then I took a 2-hour break in the middle, and the rest of the time I've been playing. So I'm up to, I think, 11 so far.
Do you have to go to work early tomorrow?
Nope. I work 1 to 8 my time, which I think the servers go down at midnight, so I probably won't get any time before work.
Well, I was just thinking
after.
Yeah, I was thinking after the show, maybe.
Oh yeah, I'll be playing.
Keep the stream going or something for a change.
Yeah.
All right. Yay! We have a chat box now. It's there. So yeah. As for me, a whole lot of Hearthstone on my phone. And then on the absolute lowest settings possible, I was able to play a few games of Against AI and Heroes, which, if you've played Heroes against the AI for any period of time, you know how easy it can be. Even when you're lagging. WoW would not open at all on my laptop, which is what I used to raid on, so I don't know what's going on there. At most, I got to the load screen for my garrison, and it just stayed there for 20 plus minutes.
Did you try other than Wednesday night, or just Wednesday night?
No, I tried other than.
Okay.
Like, I tried a couple different times, and finally I was just like, you know what? Done. Don't care. So, Wednesday, this last Wednesday, a couple days ago, I was doing something. I think I was at work. I was at work before raid, and then I tried to log in, and WoW would not open. Like, I couldn't even, if I connected to the Battle.net servers, half the time I disconnected, all that fun stuff. But once I finally did get connected to Battle.net, WoW just, it was like, no, we don't care. Every other game I could get into, WoW was like, no. So they were focusing on the WoW servers, that much is sure. I don't know if it was the private server people going, we hate you, go away. But that's the going theory, at least. I doubt it, honestly.
So I have a theory about that. We can touch on real quick.
Does it involve bunnies?
Not really, no. Do you remember the launch last expansion when Warlords first came out and all the craziness we had to deal with for the first day and a half? So my thought is, are these guys trying to blackmail Blizzard into paying them off so they don't do that again? And was this their little test to show that they still had the ability to do it? It's ridiculous. I went on a rant in our voice chat about it. It's like, why would people who, and some people find this insulting. Don't take it that way. It's not meant insulting. But why would nerds do something that disappoints other nerds? And I say that in the best possible way. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense, though. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, wouldn't you want to do it to someone that you wanted to prove a point to, or that you wanted to affect in some way? Not necessarily to the people who are kind of your own people. It just seems kind of crappy. But, whatever. We'll keep going.
Yeah. Worst case scenario is, if it gets too bad, Blizzard will be like, these 3 days you couldn't play? Here's 3 more days. We don't like doing it, but here you go.
Yeah, but personally, I don't care about the 3 days. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's the event of the launch that is important to me.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll be taking off launch day this upcoming expansion, which will be the first time since I started playing the game that I have not taken off launch day, or at least part of.
I definitely will, if possible. I'll just have a backup plan if the game's not going right. And the backup plan might be Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have it by then.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think? You're not no beta club anymore. I don't know how many people actually got in, if it's open right now for stress test, if it's just, limited people. What do you think of the game? Last I saw, you were playing 76 and you swapped to Widowmaker when I suggested you were playing like a Widowmaker should. What are you thinking of it so far?
I like it a lot. I'm not good at it. I'm okay at it, is what I would say. Depending on the situation. A couple of maps I think I'm much better than others, like defending on Route 66. I'm pretty good at that one. Not attacking on Route 66, I suck at that. Kind of seems like that's a map that's gimped a little bit towards the defending side. However, still learning the characters and what the different characters can do. There's so many different styles of play. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. It's actually a feature, to be able to play it so many different ways. It's kind of crazy. So there's a few characters that I'm comfortable with. Tracer, 76, Widowmaker. I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable with Winston, but I have to change a couple of things to really be able to use him. This is kind of funny. I tested it like at first. I don't know if you were in the chat when I was doing this, but you can play it with a controller or keyboard and mouse. And I tried it out with a controller for like one tutorial version. And the controls, the movement is way better on the controller, but the targeting is horrible on a controller unless you're really used to it. So I switched back because I like the targeting on the mouse much better. But overall, I definitely feel like I need to play a lot more to really be good at it. But I'm getting to the point where I feel like I can usually hold my own. I had a couple of games where I had almost 30 kills and only a couple of deaths, but then I also had several games where I was even with like 5 and 5. So it really just depends on the map and the game and who I'm playing against, I think, more than anything else.
Yeah, I've noticed in my case, I'm usually even-ish. I very rarely will have the massive kills over more than deaths, but I also have readily admitted everywhere that I am terrible at shooter games. And I found out that it's not just the games I watched for Totem in his podcast a couple weeks ago that gave me motion sick. Like, I was starting to get motion sick watching these games. I don't know that I can actually physically watch the competitive Overwatch because I was starting to get motion sick every single time. Now, admittedly, I was watching like 15, 20 minutes straight. Or, a whole bunch of matches in a row. So that could be part of it. But it was the way I don't know what it was. Like, Hans and Franz, I don't get motion sick. Like, nothing in anything has ever done it, except for the way those matches are shown. So
The interesting thing about that is we've had this conversation. Certain first-person shooters like Halo, there was a game, I think it was called Prey, that I think it was the Xbox, I'm not 100%, but those games 100% made me motion sick. And Prey, if I'm remembering the name right, it was a first-person slash third-person shooter that you could change the gravity and walk up the walls or on the ceiling. And dude, I'd watch that for like 15 minutes and feel like I need to go hurl. It was that bad. But I'm not getting that from Overwatch at all. And I've watched a lot of it. I mean, I was watching Cuddles for hours when he was playing.
I can watch a streamer play Overwatch. I can play Overwatch. Not a problem. It's whenever they do the competitive matches where you can jump people and everything is moving all the time. Like, you could have Tracer on one team and Reaper on the other, and then whoever else is on the team. You are literally jumping from character to character, perspective to perspective, over and over, everywhere. That's the only time it bothers me. And even then, it's after, I don't get it right away. It's after a little while. I mean, I've never gotten sick from it, but I've started to feel a little nauseous from it.
Interesting.
Yeah. But other than that, my week consisted of picking up something that I couldn't last year. I got the autograph book.
Nice.
$4 because they're getting rid of them apparently.
You can bring that one with you this year?
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I tweeted earlier in the week.
Water bottle?
It's insulated, but yeah. I haven't even opened it, but yeah. And then I got one more thing, but I can't show it because the person... there are reasons I can't show it, and yeah. It's hard
Cryptic
to.
Draven is cryptic.
It's not for anything to do with the stream, but the reason is someone who might possibly see this isn't allowed seeing any of it yet. So yeah,
You're like the worst at keeping secrets.
I know. They know there's something there, they just don't know what it is.
Yeah, I didn't take advantage of those sales. I heard a few other people bought a whole bunch of stuff for like really cheap that they were just kind of clearing out, but I didn't do it myself. Nice. Did you get that on top of the stuff that was already discounted? Wow.
Yep.
For those of you listening to the audio, Draven just held up a discount card that he got even off of the discount pricing.
Yeah. The great thing about the collector's editions is you get usually a 25% discount card. I have a lot of collector's editions. So, yeah. Unfortunately, you only do one at a time. But I picked up, it was mostly the stuff that they were getting rid of, the deep discount stuff. And that was what I did.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And now that we are completely overly derailed, I mean, we did talk about Overwatch, so we're not horribly. You just want to skip the bumper and go straight to news stuff?
Yeah, sounds good. We're pretty much talking about news anyway.
Yeah. And that is not what I wanted. Alright, first up, Illidan. Since we already talked a little bit of Overwatch, we'll hit it again here a bit. The book apparently is out.
Yes, it is out.
It is out. I thought about grabbing this over on Amazon. I'm waiting for some reviews that are not from Blizzard Watch. Because while I do think they know what they're talking about, they clearly are going to really like pretty much anything Blizzard. So I'm waiting for some other reviews.
I will be buying the audiobook.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking I'd probably do too, is go over to Audible.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of having the book, and if I enjoy the audiobook, I may buy the book anyway, but books generally don't keep my attention. Even Chronicles, I've only read a small portion of it because I looked at most of the pictures.
Yeah.
But I have a very short attention span when it comes to books. There's only a few that I've actually read all the way through.
I don't have that issue. I have tons of books. You can't see them, but they're right over there. And not nearly as many as I used to, because I moved across the country twice, and, that's just not fun moving that many books. But, I mean, just right in that small section, I've got probably a good 80 books. Hardback, big books. Chronicles is actually right behind me. But, yeah. And I've read most of them multiple times. Lord of the Rings is over there. At least 7 times. Harry Dresden, the entire series. Most
Harry
of them.
Dresden, is that about you?
No, that's actually how I got part of my name. Was that character? Dresden Files, Jim Butcher. All his stuff is over there. I mean, tons of stuff. I've even got some of the audiobooks. In fact, I think I own all of them except for the newest one in audiobook. Not related to anything. It doesn't matter. I like books. I like having physical copies of books. I can sit there, if I get bored, I read. If I just feel like reading, I read. I don't have to play on the computer all the time.
So, I'm a huge music fan, as you can tell from the shirt. I like the music, but with my commute, I found that listening to talk radio or listening to an audiobook sometimes is just as enjoyable. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of become a thing for me, and I miss it. I haven't had a book to listen to in the car for a while, and I'm pretty much listening through all of the podcasts that I usually do fairly quickly. So if I get the audiobook, I'll probably have that book done in a couple of weeks. So that's kind of perfect for me.
Well, I'm a fan of the books, and I know a bunch of other people are. The Dresden Files ones. If you haven't read it or even listened to those, did you ever watch Buffy?
No, not a fan of Buffy.
Okay. Well, the guy who played Spike, James Marsters, reads or has read every single one of them. And, he doesn't do the pronunciations 100% accurate, for the first couple books because, they slip through. But they're still really cool. And just hearing him in the voice, it was just cool. So if you wanted the audio on that, that'd be cool. They're good. I recommend them to anyone. Okay, you can give me the check, Mr. Butcher. Don't I wish?
I'll probably just give you a free book.
I wish. I'd take that. Yeah, Overwatch beta. I haven't gotten in since it went live.
So I did notice a couple of issues that came up, and I probably will submit them so that hopefully they add me to the good list.
Yeah.
There was a couple of servers that went down mid-game, which was an issue. A couple other kind of strange glitches here and there, but overall the game feels done. There's probably out of the whole day of playing, less than 10 things that I noticed that were just kind of weird, and they're probably all related to the stress test. So I really feel like it's pretty much ready. But massive glitches on Route 66 in the first hour that went away after the second hour. So that, and there was another one that was kind of crazy. I should have written it down.
I know in your tutorial, you are whenever you went through that to fix when you went back to keyboard and mouse, you had the issue of nothing spawned, and they kept saying you still have targets.
Yeah, that was a big one. Yeah, it was in the tutorial, and there was nothing to shoot.
I won't swear to this, but I think because you got the fire extinguishers, that's why they didn't spawn. Like, you just happened to hit them in just the right time or something. Because I remember I did the exact same thing, and I had to go back and go in.
So I would still call that a glitch.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that thanks for reminding me. That was the one that I wanted to actually send them. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely pretty darn well polished, but there's a couple of little things they need to kind of get straightened out first.
Yeah. BlizzCon tickets! You guys touched on it last week, but since they're coming up this week, I thought I'd remind. Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, that's 10 p.m. Eastern. First set go on sale. I am not happy about this. I work till 10 o'clock. So I'm either going to get in trouble by leaving early, or I'm going to trade with somebody. If I can find anybody. One of those two things will happen. And then Saturday, the 23rd, 10 a.m. Pacific. That's 1 p.m. on your for us East Coasters. Second set go on sale. $199 plus tax, which it's $199 in most places. There's hardly any tax unless it's the thing.
Well, I mean, there's the fee from the ticket providers, but
yeah. And I feel bad for you, Thule, from chat room.
Yeah, 4 a.m.
4 a.m. But yeah, that would suck.
Oh,
I would still be awake at 4 a.m.
Hey, at least at 4 a.m., your internets are probably going to be super fast because everybody else is sleeping.
Yeah. It is going through a new service. They got rid of Eventbrite because they got tired of listening to me going, Eventbrite!
Well, should be happy about that.
I'm sure it was entirely because of me. It is called Universe this year, and we've had no confirmation whatsoever that they are prepared in any way.
Nope, but they did outline a bunch of things to do to get ready. It's actually, when you look at the main page, which shows this graphic that we're showing now, you scroll down a little bit, it actually has a link to kind of tell you what to expect and what you should do ahead of time and what you should do to be ready on the night that you're going to get the tickets. So it at least seems like they have a plan, but we'll see. I mean,
Eventbrite had a plan, it just didn't work.
Yeah, Eventbrite got punched in the nuts at Showtime is what really happened, and it'll be interesting to see if their servers struggle the same way with the new group. But well, you know, I'm not really 100% worried about it. I told my wife, I was like, I really want to go, shouldn't spend the money. So for me, it's going to come down to, am I able to get a ticket by buying it? That's going to be and I mean, it's CTR, I'd probably get a ticket for somebody else. But the way for me to decide for sure whether or not I'm going to spend the money to go is whether or not I'm successful buying a ticket. So there you go.
And chat room has brought up that Universe is owned by Ticketmaster, and we kind of know them.
Well,
So
that's a good sign. It's a
that
bad
yeah,
sign because they're probably going to charge you a $20 fee, but it's a good sign because it'll probably work.
at least partially. There's from what I hear, there are no waiting rooms. You either are in or not.
Well, that's kind of how Ticketmaster works.
Yeah. That's kind of how Eventbrite worked too. They just gave you something called the waiting room, and you just close it out and do it again. Because if you were in the waiting room, you were stuck there. I would know on 7 different computers.
Well, with Ticketmaster, generally, I mean, I used to run a store that had Ticketmaster in it way back in the day, and the way that they did it, there was no real waiting room, but once you search for tickets, those tickets are on hold for a limited amount of time, and if you don't buy them, they get added back to the pot. But there really is no waiting room. There's just tickets available, and as soon as there's none available, there's none available. Unless someone else doesn't buy theirs, in which case, 5 minutes later, there might be tickets again.
Yeah, so what we're going to see is 1 minute of tickets on sale, 5 minutes of nothing on sale, or however long the waiting, the reserve is, and then 1 minute of on sale again, and it's probably going to go like that for about half an hour.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would expect if Ticketmaster is really the parent company there. So that's good information. Thanks, Dooley.
Yay, thank you, Julie. And other than that, they're doing the charity auction, $750 this year. I hear they're gonna have chairs.
I hope so. That's so funny they didn't have chairs last year.
No, they had chairs last year. It was the year before that they didn't.
Oh, okay. To
But
be
yeah.
honest with you, if I had a lot of money, I would rather do that.
Yeah, I mean it
But
goes.
that's just out of my budget.
Yeah, it goes to charity. That'd be nice, but yeah, out of the budget. And then
The funny thing is, if you can afford it, you could write that off because it goes to charity.
yeah, I mean,
But yeah, you got to be able to afford it.
I would have to not pay my bills until then to be able to afford it, and then not pay my bills again for another 2 weeks to catch up.
You know, one thing that would probably make people more excited about doing that is that they actually listed what devs were going to be there.
Definitely. I mean, we know Metzen's there because he's been there every time, from what I've heard. I would imagine Mike Morheim is going to be there. You know, I would imagine there's a good 20 or so, like the high name ones.
Yeah,
The high
pretty
profile.
cool thing. You know, if I came into money, that's what I would want to do, I think.
Speaking of coming into money, it's not in the show notes, but you remember Heroes of the Dorm?
I do, yes.
Guild member in CTR, raid team member for me, but he no longer really raids with us all that often. Mosley, I think that's how you say his name, won the $10,000. Perfect bracket. He picked
It's crazy.
every team that won to win. He picked ASU to 3-0 UT Arlington.
I heard that it was him and one other person that had it exactly right. Did they end up splitting, or did they both?
No,
get it
there was some tiebreaker thing where it went. There was a list of different tiebreakers, and Mosley ended up winning on the 4th one. He
Wow.
gets all of it by himself.
That's freaking awesome.
So he's going to BlizzCon this year if he can get a ticket, which he'll get a ticket. And from what I hear, he took 2 signs to dorms with him. First one was, if ASU wins, I win $10,000. The other sign they took from him, I just won $10,000. So yeah, he had a sense of humor about it. Good, congrats to you, sir, etc., and so forth. And that's about it for the overall Blizzard news, other than Diablo 3 Season 5. I almost said Diablo 5. Diablo 3 Season 5, done tonight. Season 6 starts up in 2 weeks. If you haven't done everything in Season 5 you want to do, tough noogies. You kind of screwed up on that one.
Yeah, you have to wait till the next time everybody decides to play it for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Play it for a couple weeks, a month. I've heard rumors of one person had 3,000 Paragon points for this season. And I just kind of look at that and be like, dude, you need to go outside. And that's coming.
Really likes the game.
That's coming from someone who does not go outside. I don't always play on the computer, but I don't go outside. Outside of going to work and, necessary outside. I don't like outside. The graphics are amazing. The gameplay is awful. But that means it is time for some World of Warcraft talk, which we might actually have a little bit of. So let's go ahead and bump into that. That was fun. I hit the wrong button and cut that early. Oh well. All's fair. So, we're going to go with live first outside the notes here. And of course, everything is not checked. Okay. Anyway, back to the show. Cataclysm Time Walking Event. That means there's a couple toys which are actually rather interesting and cool. But overall, you're just going looking for the boss. The boss kills. You want the infinite Reaver.
Well, not you.
No, I
You
got it.
already have it. but
Yeah, I have
Other
it.
people.
Yeah, other people.
Yeah.
I haven't.
So,
I haven't done anything in WoW except for garrisons in like 3 weeks.
I used to do these pretty regularly whenever it was the weekend because I wanted the mount you could buy that is the horse, which I got, and now I don't do them anymore.
I wanted the toys and the mounts, like all of them. I have them, and while getting those, I got really freaking lucky. I don't know how that happened. There must have been a glitch in the system where it was checked 1 and not 0, and I got the Infinite Reaver. Since then, I don't need to do it. I could take one of my alts, like my rogue or my other paladin could get a couple pieces out of it, but it's not worth the effort.
Yeah, I mean, you get one normal piece out of it, which the problem is some of the normal pieces are not as good as some of the baleful gear. So you have a chance of getting something completely worthless by doing it, but a chance of getting something okay by doing it.
You do get Valor, so if you're not fully upgraded, you can do that. It sounds like we're being negative on it. We're not. I actually do enjoy doing them. I just haven't wanted to play WoW hardly at all lately. It's just that time of the expansion.
I don't mind time walking, and I definitely, there's only one of these current ones I don't like doing, which is oh crap, I'm gonna forget the name now.
Grim Batol.
Yeah, that one. That one I really don't like, but the rest of them are fine. It's just there's no longer a carrot for me, except for the Infinite Reaver, and that is such a small chance. I'm not really worried about spending my time unless I'm really bored.
Yeah. In terms of live game WoW, I'm literally playing World of Garrison Craft. And even then, World of Garrison Tablecraft. I'm not doing any profession stuff. I'm not mining. I'm not herbing. I'm not pet battling. The exception is my Horde Shaman, who I have to actually leave the building to go to the shipyard because I don't have a level 3 shipyard.
I have 3 characters that don't have a level 3 shipyard, so I'm doing the same thing. All the other ones have it. And it's kind of a pain in the ass because the gating on that takes a little while, especially if you only do it once every couple of days. But you know what I did? It actually it's kind of silly, but I decided that I needed to have enchanters, so I changed about 5 of my tunes to enchanting, and I've been leveling that up on them. So pretty much I'm doing the tablecraft and then doing their enchanting missions or enchanting cooldowns each day.
Yeah, if I was gonna do something like that, from what I've seen, I would probably go inscription for Legion.
So the whole reason why I got enchanting is because of the fact that I'm raid leading now. Having an enchanter not only to DE stuff that people don't want, but to be able to provide enchants for people who either 1, didn't know they need 1, 2, or were too lazy to go get it, 3, don't have the money, or 4, get a new item, is very beneficial to the team. So that's the whole reason why I wanted to be able to do it. As a tank, doing the loot is kind of not good because I can't start pulling trash and everything. Even with our sped up using RC Loot Council that we do makes it really fast in comparison with most people. We're impatient at this point, so we're one taking a lot of the trash, and sometimes it's not a good thing. I kind of should just relinquish that over to iHeals or Howland probably and let those guys do it. But at the same time, I just haven't done it. But
I would actually say a DPS you trust, because that way you have all your healers.
Yeah, that's part of the consideration, part of the reason why I haven't done it yet. But Howland sometimes does DPS as iHeals does too.
Yeah. But yeah, Cataclysm. They're fun, except Grim Patrol. But I don't, like you said, there's just no carrot for us, so there's no reason outside of that mount, and I have it, so I'm like, I don't care. I'll go if someone needs me, but I don't care. Thule in chat is saying he's doing the WoW challenges. Well, I guess that means he's doing the Iron Man challenge, and that's what's keeping him in game and mostly sane-ish. So that's always fun.
Mine's still level 5. I didn't get very far.
Yeah. And we mentioned, Legion. Everybody is now available to test. Every spec is now in Legion, so we are getting closer. I know.
So,
go ahead.
I'm just going to jump in real quick. Update on the tanking situation. Right now, before tuning, bear tanks are the strongest, followed by paladins. Going into it, before tuning, could definitely change. They did not fix the paladin gameplay and apparently don't have a plan to. So paladins are going to be overpowered and boring.
Yay.
Yes.
I know Ro is happy because they finally added destruction.
Yeah, apparently destruction, they said they weren't going to change very much, and that was the reason why they were waiting for them to be at the end. I don't really believe that.
I have no idea. I have not got... Clearly, this week I have not gotten into the alpha as much as I've wanted to. Most of my alpha testing has been on the artifact quest, so I haven't really done much. But I do know that brand new is the Broken Shore, which is, where the cinematic takes place there at the beginning from Blizzcon, the Legion cinematic. When they crash, that's the Broken Shore. So that's where we start.
Yeah, I was watching Salute and a couple of his friends actually grinding in that area. And it was either Broken Shore or Azuna, and there's an area that is free-for-all PvP, outdoors, free-for-all PvP. So Garabashi Arena, and I know I'm saying that wrong, down in STV.
Yep.
Just like that, but an entire area of a zone. Mm-hmm. So the idea to me sounds insanely cool, and I'm probably never going to want to go there. But the funny thing is it's phased. So the whole time they were phasing out and phasing back in, phasing out, phasing back in. It kept coming up and giving them the little, you are now in a free-for-all PvP zone every 5 seconds. It kept coming up, and it made a noise every single time, so it's super annoying. There was I guess you would call it a world event there for questing. So they're having to kill these mobs in order to fill up the bar to get, what they had to do in that area done. And the mobs kept phasing. And then as the mob's phasing, another person who's not in their party phased in. So then there's some PvP combat, which didn't matter if they were Horde or Alliance because it's free-for-all. And then they would phase out and the mob would phase back. So it was just like a big old cluster where it's just like random targets appearing out of nowhere. I know they'll fix it, but that kind of seemed like a nightmare to me, like an actual WoW nightmare.
Yeah, that would not be a good time. For those of you who are okay with spoilers, there is video out there. There's not the cinematic in-game. That's not been added, but there is video out there of some pretty spoilery stuff. So go watch it at your own discretion. I know Novel has stuff out there, at least for Alliance side. I haven't seen any Horde side, anything like that. But just be careful. If you don't want to know, don't go looking.
So there's only one zone left, not open, Surmar.
And that is max level.
Yep. So that makes me think if they're going to do a beta, they're probably pretty close.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to have to do a beta. But I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know when it would be. But they have to, because there's tons of bugs in there that I remember from when I was able to play it. You just mentioned a big one for the Broken Shore. That needs fixed. So they're going to have to let it go for a little while longer. I would imagine they're just about ready to call it beta, though.
Yeah, I'm thinking the beta is going to be like a 2 or 3 week time period, personally, and I'm thinking it's going to happen next month. And it'll be like 4 weeks before the movie comes out, there'll be a 3-week beta or something like that, and then pre-patch hitting about the same time as the movie.
Well, the pre-patch doesn't necessarily mean the end of the beta either.
No, but it shifts their focus.
Yeah. And what we have available here is the dungeons. We've tested out Mythic Halls of Valor and Heroic of everything else. I've heard some of these are amazing, and some, like Violet Hold, are just kind of not.
I kind of liked Violet Hold from what I saw. It reminded me a lot of the old one.
Which is why a lot of people didn't like it. It was so similar.
But there is some new twists to it, though. You know what I mean? It's like they did justice to the old one, but they did add something, so it's not exactly the same.
Yeah. I'm cool with that too.
I mean, it would have been better if Jaina was a Dreadlord and she was the last boss of Violet Hold, at least like I wanted. But
I keep saying she is not going to be in a dungeon as a boss. She is going to be a raid boss.
Well, I mean, just because she's in the dungeon as a boss doesn't mean we necessarily kill her either. How many raid bosses have we had that didn't actually die in the raid?
Yeah, well, and how many of them did die and we fought them again later anyway?
Yeah.
Kel'Thas, Onyxia, Onyxia. Oh yeah, and there was Onyxia.
So I just realized what Thule said. He's doing the pacifist WoW challenge.
Yeah.
I feel for you, buddy.
He is going the double agent route, only not just on Panda Island. He actually has a chance to die.
Well, you can't leave Panda Island as a pacifist.
No, as a pacifist, if you start as a panda, you are stuck on that island. Yes. But what he's probably doing, he's not leveling as a panda. As a pacifist, all that means is you are picking flowers and mining. You're not killing anything.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. So what happens if something attacks you?
You run away until it leashes.
Yeah, have fun with that, Tuli. I'm not doing that. That's
Yeah. There's the pacifist, there's the bloodthirsty, where you are only allowed a couple quests here and there. I think it's 5, 8, somewhere, something like that. But the rest of it, you are mindlessly killing things, and that's it.
Shadow mode.
Shadow
That's
mode,
the
yeah.
thing. I guess you could do a rogue too.
Yeah. Night Elf Rogue.
I don't know. I realize the game's huge and people find fun in it in many different ways, and I'm not going to dog anybody for thinking something else is fun, but that's definitely not for me.
Did you have anything else WoW related? Because I got nothing. Clearly, because I haven't
No.
played the game.
No, I'm ready for them to hurry up and come out with something. But you know what? It's all their thunder's about to get taken by Overwatch anyway, so I guess they got some time.
Oh yeah, people are about to get distracted. Speaking of distractions, the thing I did while I had no computer. Hearthstone. So yeah, Hearthstone, fun times, and I don't know why some of those things pop up like that. This week, brand new. It is 100% new, which was great. You had even cost spells and odd attack minions, and that's what you were allowed.
Okay. Now, you know I don't have a ton of cards because I don't play very much, but I did play this one.
Okay.
It gave me minions that cost 2, as well as 1 and 3.
Okay, no, it is not the cost. It is their attack power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I failed from the very beginning of this because I didn't understand what the words said or what they meant. So there you go. There's my fail of the week.
Yay. What did you think about this since it was brand new and you actually did try it?
I'm glad it was something new. I thought it sucked.
Yeah.
If you don't have a large deck of cards to choose from, this is another one where you're a little gimped. And I understand that I am not a hardcore or what is the right word? I don't play the game regularly enough to have a very large deck of cards built up. And I understand that, and there's many people who do. And I don't, have anything negative about them at all. But for me, this is not one that's going to be very successful. So, yeah. No thanks.
Yeah. I've got a decent sized deck by now. And I could make it bigger, or at least have a chance to make it bigger. That's what she said. But I'm saving my 7,000 gold for when Old Gods hits. Yes, you heard me right. 7,000 gold. That means I have 70 packs I can open. For free. I don't have to pay $49.99 and get 52. So, fun.
Or in my case, not fun.
Yeah, there is that. The other big news of Hearthstone this week, Khadgar makes an appearance. So we have another mage in the game. And they gave us Khadgar. Now, maybe this is just me. And I'm not even going to make fun of him, the whole mage part of it. Look at the picture theory. Does he not look wrong? Like, look at his eyes in particular.
Oh, he looks different.
There's something about it that just looks wrong to me. That being said, this is going to charity, so feel free to get this. $5. Perfect price for a hero person, Blizz. $5.
This is also something special for charity, which I'm sure is part of the reason why it's only $4.99.
Yeah.
However, I think what you're missing is that this is the Legion version of Khadgar.
Okay. I don't care. He's got weird eyes. He looks wrong. If this is the Khadgar we're going to see in Legion, I want to kill him because there is something clearly wrong with him.
Which might be the story that you'll get to play in.
Which is why, if there's something wrong with him, why do we get to play him?
Well, we get to play with Garrosh, too. I mean, there was obviously something wrong with him.
That's a matter of an opinion there. I don't like Garrosh, but yeah, he just was a jerk. This looks like there is something wrong with him.
So, if you notice in the top right-hand corner of this graphic, it has Apple Apps for Earth. This is a little early. If you're unaware of what Apple Apps for Earth is, stay tuned. There's more coming with that. As you guys probably may or may not be aware, I guess, Earth Day is coming up very soon. And there's going to be more of that. Apple Apps for Earth. So I'm not going to say a whole lot more about that, but I think it's very, very cool. And if you notice down the bottom of the graphic, the charity portion goes to World Wildlife Federation, which is pretty sweet too. Not wrestling.
Yeah, it's. I'm all for donating the $4.99. I just don't want Khadgar at all.
Yeah, I get it, but I think that $4.99 is not a lot of money. It is for charity. I don't hardly ever play Mage at all, but I'm still tempted to buy this.
Yeah, I probably will pick it up just because it is for charity. I would much rather spend my money getting a Jaina Dreadlord skin in Heroes.
But they'll never do that.
Not until it's released in Legion. I guarantee you. We find out she's a Dreadlord in Legion. They release a skin that week or the week after.
I'm sure they would if that was the story.
And I will give them the shut up, take my money. That will be my Jaina skin when they do it. So, speaking of heroes, I'm just not even going to do the bumpers this week because it's there, but you don't care enough about heroes.
But your transition was so good. That was such a good way to just get us from one to the other.
I know, but I have to fail every chance I get. Free this week. And it's my favorite bumper. I've made no secret of that. That is my favorite bumper. So it's one of those things. Free this week, Lily, ETC, Sylvanas, Tychus, Leoric, and Kael'thas, whose bug got fixed. Rhaegar at 5, Sergeant Hammer at 7, Johanna at 12, and Zeratul at 15.
Can I just say that this Johanna graphic, which I superimposed on top of the tweet here when I made this graphic, is the sexiest Heroes graphic I think that's out there. It looks so awesome.
But you don't like the Tracer pose for Heroes?
Well, Tracer's okay. I just like this graphic a lot better.
I didn't get to rant about Bootygate with you, so... Or did I?
So let me just say...
Yes, I did, actually.
If you search Tracer's booty now, you're going to see a lot different pictures than you saw a couple of weeks ago. And make sure you don't do it from work.
I'm going to leave that right there. And on sale, Brightwing. Flying Monkey Brightwing, which is, in my opinion, Brightwing's best skin.
Agreed.
And that is this. I bought the skin even though I don't play Brightwing hardly ever, but when I will play Brightwing, it'll be on that skin. And Sergeant Doomhammer skin for Sergeant Hammer, which basically instead of the big bullet, you get an Iron Star. That's
So, you know what they should have done for the monkey? It should play the Wizard of Oz every time you move.
copyright.
It's Blizzard. Who cares? Plus, that movie's like 100 years old. They don't have to worry about that.
And since we're talking about heroes briefly, because I know Theory you don't care, chat room broke Sylvanas. No, she is way better now. Trust me, she is better now. You just have to build her differently. I've made Smurf accounts, which is fake accounts that you just level up to a certain point because I want that vulture mount in the game. I'm leveling using Sylvanas. One match, I got to level 5. Next match, 7. And then it takes once you get so high, it takes a bit. But she's freaking good.
I don't think Kalinda agrees with you.
She doesn't have to. I know I'm right. All right. Since we're still in Heroes, we did mention Tracer is coming Tuesday. This Tuesday.
Really?
For if you pre-ordered Origins digital this Tuesday, she's in game. If not, well, you got to wait another week, and then you can buy her. Did you see the video they released?
Part of it, yes, and it looked pretty freaking cool. And
she is going to be the most banned ever, unless
that's a bummer.
In the high-end competitive.
I'll never play high-end competitive anyway.
Well, I like watching those. So, yeah. But yeah, she's going to be banned, definitely, unless she hits like a wet noodle or can only get hit once before she dies.
Well, it's kind of how she is in Overwatch. I wouldn't say a wet noodle, but she's only a few sheets of paper.
Yeah. I don't know with her blink, if it's there, I don't know of any hero that can really counter her, because they showed her countering ultimates, like Zul's Poison Nova. She's like, sure, I'll stand here and take it. Oh, I just got rid of it. And she healed all the way back up, wasn't poisoned. It just releases everything and takes it away. It's like, your ultimate, that's cute.
Well, Blizzard in general, whenever they release something new like that, and granted this is still a pretty new game, usually comes out and they're OP as hell, and then they'll end up nerfing it later once it's popular.
Yes, I guarantee you she is OP. There's no question of that. I don't know how they're going to nerf her abilities, though. That's what needs nerfed. Short of, we'll give you the health back, but you're still poisoned. That wouldn't make any sense for recall.
Longer cooldowns.
Yeah, that'd be about it. But yeah, it was cool. I saw it and I was like, my first thought, she is never going to see competitive play because she's going to be banned number 1 every single time. But yeah, that about does that. I mean, do we have anything else at all? Because I didn't see any feedback short of someone sent an email about that dude who likes taking balls to the face, volleyballs, soccer balls, that kind of thing. People, get your mind out of the gutter.
I apparently missed that.
I will send you that after show. It's literally it's a guy sitting in the goal. Like, he comes in as goalie. And
I've seen this. This is very funny. Yes.
Yeah.
He just gets
beat up in the face.
Yeah.
Like, they're intentionally hitting him in the face, using trick shots to hit him in the face. It's hysterical.
That's actually really old. That's been around for over a year.
That's what we got. That's what our feedback was for the.
So we did receive one other thing that we haven't shown on show yet. Hopefully soon. CJ sent us a video about some lore stuff that we may want to cover in one of the next episodes.
Yeah, I had it, and I have to re-download it because it got lost in my computer issue. So CJ,
So maybe
we will get
maybe
to
next
it.
episode.
Yeah, we will get to it. I got to re-download it and readjust some stuff to make it suitable. No, there's nothing wrong with it. I just have to adjust volumes a little bit.
No, so there's a little hype for it, guys. He was talking about something pretty cool that kind of goes hand in hand with what's about to happen with the new expansion and with kind of what Chronicles talks about too. So there's a little pre-appetizer for you for CJ's Corner.
CJ, yay. All right. Do we have anything else? Because if not, I think it's time for you to do your weekly thing of how people get a hold of us.
So one quick thing before I do that, just kind of a reminder, we do have the Discord server, which we've been using a little bit more for voice chat with games, which is something if you want to be able to voice chat with us. You can do that if we're playing or streaming or showing something online besides the actual show. In addition, we take questions there. So if you ever have a question for the show, best place to actually ask that question is in the Discord channel, which anyone is welcome to join. So if you see this online or if you hear this on your iTunes or your Stitcher Radio, make sure that you look for that link and join us there.
Yep. And before we start closing out, Theory, are we doing Overwatch after the show?
I'm not going to sleep, so I'm good with some Overwatch.
All right, we'll do a couple matches of Overwatch. I'll probably host Theory and let him do the streaming because I'm gonna have a couple things I need to take care of over here. So fun times there. All right, so Theory, let me get this set up here for you so that no one can see how you do the magic that is the magic that you do. A peanut butter jelly time. All right. Are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. And cue the music.
So at Epic Fail Podcast, we do love it when you contact us. So here's the ways that you can do that. We are at www.epicfailpodcast.com. On Facebook, you can find us at /podcastepicfail. Twitter is at podcastepicfail. You can follow Draven at Draven Dresden on Twitter. You can follow Scarlet at Scarlet_CTR. And you can follow me, Theory, at Gank Theory, also on Twitter. Don't forget, you can find our podcasts on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. We look forward to hearing from you.
You must go through a ton of glue. Breaking the same thing over and over.
I told you that last week. I have a bowl of shards of glass.
I was not here last week.
Hit it with a 2 weeks ago. There was so much fail last week and the week before that all kind of blended together.
Yeah. And all I'm going to say, because I mentioned it in chat last week, not so easy on my end, is it?
Well, I tried something a little bit different. Now, granted, it was worse fail than you've had. So
other than the microphone.
I didn't ever mute myself, but I was using a program called XSplit, which pretty cool program. It costs money, and I paid them, the money to be able to use it, whatever. However, it uses a lot of processing power. And the one weakness my rig has is it's a little bit older processor. So it really kind of maxed out my processor once I got all the graphics and everything in it. And it was not happy. So I had all kinds of problems. And because of that, we have no video for last week because it completely killed the video.
Oh, yeah.
The audio might still be salvageable, but I don't know if we're going to worry about it. Yeah.
At this point, if you're listening on the download, yes, episodes 54 and 55 exist. You're probably not going to hear them outside of trying to find them on Twitch. Simply because there were so many issues between them, such as editing 54 killed my computer, and streaming 55 kind of destroyed theories too. Except that it
Well,
wasn't.
my computer still works. It
Yeah,
just
the stream, the video itself just didn't go over well.
the hamster on the inside took a nap.
Yeah. I'm just glad that he went with the wheel and didn't try to get out, because that would have been, messy.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we're there, do we have any last words? I know Scarlett's not here. We miss you, Scarlett. Come back soon. We know you have real life stuff. It's okay.
Blizzard, thank you for letting me be on this weekend of Overwatch and not queuing me for it. I appreciate it.
So, OverSalt no more.
Well, wait a day or two when I can't play again. But yeah, for this weekend, no.
Okay. So there we go. The last words of that.
Hello, Mother. You know, the world could always use more heroes.